Hi everyone, and welcome to the Capricorn Weekly Tarot Bite reading for the week of August 14th through the 20th. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot reading for Soul Illumination. So hi everyone and welcome. This reading is going to be a quick look at the energy for the week ahead for the sign of Capricorn. And we're basing it off of the two themes that came out in the general collective reading, which was released on Sunday evening, which was Never Ending Story and 10 of Pentacles. So really how that manifested in that reading was the Never Ending Story speaks to a story we have carried with us up to this point that is no longer supportive of the person we are now growing into or becoming. Now, this could be something as simple as I am the person who is not athletically inclined, and so I will never be able to enjoy sports or leisure hobbies or be able to get myself into a state of physical activity or health that I want to. And suddenly it's like, well, who told me that? I have the power to change that in my life. Or the same thing where the person who's always unlucky in love and will never have that stable, supportive relationship like everybody else does. And this is that chance where I get to close that book on that chapter and say, it's now time to write not even only a new chapter, but a new book in the series of my life. And what is that going to look like? What is the hero going to get to encounter this time? And if that hero was the person who was always unlucky in love, well then now what if I get to write this book in the series where that character gets to find the love of their life? So that's really the hopeful, faithful energy we're getting into now. And with the 10 of Pentacles, it's all because we're looking at what we want to build for the future based on a new story we're telling ourselves. And most likely based on where that old story that's really coming into focus for you is now ready to be released, because that's where the growth is going to come into your life. That's where this 10 of Pentacles, which really represents the legacy we want to leave behind, the home, the finances, the even art projects, creative endeavors, things like that we want to build towards that literally will last after we are gone. So we're going to dive a little deeper into this for you, Capricorn. So right off the bat, we have the Prince of Swords that just popped out for the Never Ending Story. Now, the Prince of Swords is technically the Knight of Swords in this deck. And the Knight of Swords does speak to the sharing of a blunt truth. This can be sometimes where we need to speak the truth. It can be, though, in a certain sense where the truth comes in, let's say maybe a less than graceful way. This is where you're sharing your perspective and it's almost like, here's my perspective, I don't want to hear yours. I'm out, that kind of thing. So there may be a story around how you communicate. There could be a story around, it's a few too many. Let's see if we can get just a couple more cards out here. Story around maybe what has happened in the past when you've shared your truth or when you've chosen to speak up. And there may be something coming forward now where that story is going to change. Maybe there was a sense of people don't ever see me the way that I want to be seen when I choose to speak my truth. We have the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. So Capricorn, there's definitely, sorry, I'm going to readjust here. There's definitely a story coming through that the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Swords of really moving on from a time that emotionally wounded you. The 8 of Cups is when we are looking at something that no longer supports us, where we have invested our time and energy into it, our emotional investment, and then suddenly we look at it and we say, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I was hoping. This isn't going to lead to my fulfillment. And with the 10 of Swords, there's a sense here of going through a really difficult time that was painful. This is a time where we can actually say that we were brought to our knees in some aspect of our experience. And there may be a sense of where you need to speak on this. This may be something actually where some of you have held back really speaking about the pain of the past or the pain you've gone through, or where you feel that it's time that there's something emotionally unsupportive in your life experience and where you need to speak on that. This could be like holding on to let's say the death of a family member, something like that, and you've never had the chance to openly grieve or share that with maybe a person you deeply love. This could be where maybe there's something else in your life that again, there was a time that was very traumatic for you, and it's time now to speak on that. Now, maybe you've tried to speak to this in the past, and either A, you didn't maybe have the support around you to do so, or you didn't have even, I would say, the words, so to speak, to be able to speak to this in a way that was truly going to allow someone in your life experience to understand what you had gone through. And there's a chance now, I think, to really lean into an openness in how you express yourself, an openness in what you choose to share with others, but also an openness in what you've gone through, an openness in a time that I think in sharing and in speaking to is going to release you from the hold that time in your life had on you. I mean, this could literally be where maybe the pain is actually linked to your parents' divorce, and you've held on to that. And maybe now that's the shadow of that is coming forward into your current relationship because you've been so afraid that was going to come into your experience. Maybe you've never spoken about it, but now you're realizing that in not speaking about it and in not kind of owning up to that, there's some fear or story attached to your parents' divorce or your parents' difficult time that's actually impacting your relationship now. You need to share that with your partner so that your partner can have some clarity, some aha around why you're not maybe as vulnerable in the relationship as you want, or why you've put up certain barriers, or why you don't want to share financial resources, or whatever it is, something along those lines. That could be a good example of this. This could also be too where you are simply just putting a story to rest from the past that was painful, where maybe you had spoken a lot. This could be on the flip side where you had spoken a lot to that. And it's time now where you've healed. You possibly could have come through that. You might have been able to talk through it with someone in your life, and you're gaining clarity as to, you know what? I used to always tell people about that difficult work experience that I had, but yet now you don't have to speak to it anymore because you've moved on from it. Maybe you've retired. Maybe I can definitely empathize or sympathize with this, where, it took me a long time to heal from a very emotionally traumatic work experience where the entire experience really kind of made me feel small when I left, even though I look back now after 10 years and say, wow, I actually have a lot to give myself kudos for. But I would bring up that story of that time often as kind of an example of, and this is why I won't do that again, or this is why I won't, try that, or I won't commit to this. And it's almost like saying that story is done. It was 10 years ago, or you retired 10 years ago, or that relationship is over. That person is no longer in your life, or that person passed on, something along those lines where it's time to say that story is done and you don't have to speak to it anymore. Or for others of you, there is a time in your past where it's time now to speak on it. Maybe open yourself up to healing around it. It could even be a new cycle where you get a mentor or a therapist or someone to help you guide your way away from it. But either way, you're closing the book on that chapter, whether you're opening yourself up to speaking about it or whether you are finally releasing it and no longer telling it. It's done. So it's great energy. Okay, so let's see what's going on around the 10 of Pentacles. What does Capricorn need to know? Okay, so what is this future vision for? What are you building towards? I love it because you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. This really speaks. Ace of Pentacles, fresh start, new opportunity. And it can be the new opportunity around a mother figure in your life. It can be the new opportunity of embracing your own needs. The Queen of Cups is someone who is the unconditionally loving mother or parent, but she can also be the person who focuses on self-care and nurtures her own self because she puts her cup first. So there's a sense here around an opportunity to, I think, really put this chapter, something again that was traumatic in your life, to rest by focusing on a new opportunity that's coming in through self-care. That this could be if you were really, again, having to put yourself through something traumatic in the past and maybe you've had a chance to recover from that. This is a beautiful these two cards together really show a beautiful chance now to really get into either embracing that unconditional love for another. This could be where you have an opportunity to become a parent and really embrace that, and through that, heal something from the past. This could also be a new opportunity of, again, where you get a chance in this next cycle to focus on your self-care, your needs, what you need to feel loved and supported. And that in turn is what's going to lead to the ultimate 10 of Pentacles. What is this new change in your future vision for yourself and the legacy that you want to lead or build towards? Does it involve you being a parent and now there's children in your life? Does it involve nurturing and self-care that's going to say, you know what, I don't need to live here in this place anymore because that's tied to the past pain. I am free to go anywhere, so I'm going to focus on what nurtures me. Beautiful energy here, Capricorn. It's one of healing, and it's one of putting an old story, pain of the past to rest. You don't have to speak to. So this is actually a great week to kind of practice that. If you find yourself falling back into like speaking about that, that's really that like window into, wow, let me see how this could be something where like even like a friend group in the past hurt you, or a friend, and all of a sudden you're realizing, but I'm surrounded by friends now. I have friends and family in abundance. I don't need to keep going back to that one person that rejected me 10 years ago. Or I don't need to, I'm retired now. I don't need to keep complaining about that boss that abused me or was difficult to work under, or the company that never listened to me. It's that feeling. Or that parent who didn't love me. It's like, you're lovable now. And maybe for some of you, you are a parent, and that's making you realize that you can actually look back on your own parents and realize, wow, I see what my parent was going through. I see the difficulties in relationships, or how hard it is to be responsible for someone else, or how we never know everything. And maybe now that's giving you an eye to realizing, well, I can change that through the parent that I'm choosing to become. Okay, so it says whale spirit, trust the great mystery, number 65, which breaks down to the master number 11. I love this number because this is the gateway. Every so often, spirit holds open through that number 11 the chance to transcend from what is to what can be for us when we choose to walk through that doorway on faith. And yes, that doorway closes behind us. That's where that bravery and that faith come in, and where also fear can come in when we're being asked to change, especially when we're being asked to release an old story of pain or hurt that we've actually long identified with. And there's a chance now to release that and to trust in the great mystery, to trust what is through those open doors, what is through that next cycle, what can truly be for you, the happiness, the joy, the success, and the abundance. Beautiful energy, Capricorn. Lean into it. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. If you'd like to take a look at your full tarot scope for the month of August, those are also posted on my channel, so you can check yours out, or any other sign that you're interested in doing so. And if you would like to be notified when I do post my weekly and monthly readings, you can click on the subscribe button and hit the notification tab to be notified. And if you do subscribe, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. This has been just so much fun for me to do, and I love when others help kind of show that through their support. All right, have a great week, Capricorn. Bye-bye.